Coach Dawkins, signature victories are part of the saga of great teams, and you have a team that's gelling and really playing hard. Tell us a little bit about this Texas Tech game.
It was, like I said, it was a hard-fought game. Grant has a terrific team. They do a great job. My respect for their program and what I've seen since I've been in the Big 12 and watching them has been very impressed. I thought our guys we played a 40-minute basketball game. We've been challenging our guys all season long. When will we play 40 minutes, not 35, not 30, not 25? And I thought it took a 40-minute game tonight in order to be successful. And that just give our guys a lot of credit for believing and continuing to fight throughout the entire game, because their challenges, they challenge you on both ends of the floor. Offensively, they challenge you. Defensively, they challenge you. And I thought our guys responded every time they had to. I thought they responded.
Coach, this game, a lot of expectations going into it against number 11 Texas Tech. When this team is clicking on all cylinders, you can see that they're playing clean on turnovers, no foul, or limited fouls, I should say, and shooting the ball well. What goes into a game like this with the stakes high, and you guys make sure you keep them poised?
Well, I think our guys just play with composure. I think our leadership, starts with Themis, our point guard. He sets the tone out there for us, what we want to do both offensively and defensively. I thought his ability to, whether it's in a timeout or whether it's on the floor, time and score situations, just his composure has been really good. From a point guard position. I think, Stillwell's leadership as well. He's a guy that gives us so many things that you don't see in the box score. He had a double-double today. But he provides so much more than that with his leadership, with his toughness, and he plays a, old school brand of basketball in a modern age. And, it's just fun to see him, how he goes about his business day to day, whether it's practice or game.
And I wanted to follow up. We've spoken about surviving runs and battling adversity. Texas Tech, with their three-point shooting, they're able to get into a game super quickly. How important is it for you guys to survive those three-point shooting runs and get back in control?
I mean, very, very important. They are a team that they're one of the most dangerous and one of the more high-powered offensive teams in the country, and you can see why. They have so many weapons out there, whether it's on the perimeter with the three ball, whether it's inside with J.D. Toppin, with his ability to score around the basket. They just a very tough team to defend. And, personnel-wise, because they all are threats. And so I thought our guys did a really good job of just being focused. It's a heavy-duty, personnel-driven game. I thought our guys followed the game plan, and they gave us a chance because of that.
You just talk about how tough your team is, just to gut it out. We see Riley Kugel. I understand he has the flu or something. John Bull goes down. Gets it out in the second half. Themis looked exhausted at the end. Just kind of talk about that.
Well, absolutely. Using Riley for an example, Riley, he has been struggling the last few days. He hadn't really been with us. He's been out and didn't come out for warm-ups today until the very end. And so wasn't sure if he would be able to go or not, but he gutted it out. And this is what you just said before. He just showed a toughness, wanting to go out there and compete, wanting to go help his team out. And I give out doctors, our trainers, nutritionists, everyone that was involved in helping to get him ready to go out there to compete. They did a great job, or it wouldn't have been able to happen. And, with Themis, just his leadership, he gives you everything he has. And so at the end, you should be exhausted because of how hard you had to go out there and work. And, of course, John got his knee kind of banged up or his thigh. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to continue or not, but he wanted to keep playing. He wanted to help the team, wanted to compete, and he was able to come back and really contribute. So, all of the guys, they gave us something. Like I said, it was a great team win.
You guys turned 13 offensive rebounds into 21 second chance points. So when you looked at the matchup on film and as the day played out, what worked for you guys in terms of hunting offensive rebounds and then making the most of them?
Well, I think our guys, just their activity, the activity that our guys showed, they, had opportunities to make plays and they were able to make them. In basketball, you got to be, active, and you got to try to find ways to help your team. I thought some of our guys did a really good job of finding ways to get us an extra possession or to make a play for us. I think starting with Stillwell, getting on the boards and making plays. But John did the same thing. Jordan Burke did the same thing. So we need those type of plays, and it just shows our guys are alert and look at that, making a play that's in front of them.
18 points of 13 Texas Tech turnovers. talk about the, the agility in doing that and how that was part of the game, even though they shot well.
Well, it's very important. That just shows our activity defensively. And against a team like them, they really don't turn the ball over a lot. So just being active, again, looking to make the plays that are there in front of you. And I thought our guys did a good job of that. And then trying to turn those turnovers into points, becomes important because those are, quick opportunities you may have, and you have to try to take advantage of them. And I thought our guys did do that some tonight.
All right, Coach, this game, Jordan Burke's really used more as, kind of a post-up and a driving threat, even though he's got great shooting power. So just talk about, you guys look to aggressively kind of attack the cross matches. I know Christian Anderson was off the ball for most of the game, but you guys got 3 or 4 duckets on him. So just talk about, the offensive process and looking for small advantages like that.
Well, Jordan, his game is continuing to grow. I mean, he's still a work in progress. He has a lot of potential. And I think you see the evolution from game 1 to now where he shows his versatility. Of course, you've seen him making threes, but he's putting the ball on the floor. He's posting some. So he's starting to do more. As we're starting to see him in practice do certain things, we're starting to implement those things in the game and adding them to what we do. And I think he's been responding very well to that. And his best basketball, again, is ahead of him. He's gaining a lot of experience, this year, and I'm excited for him because I can still see where he has a lot of room to get better, and I think he will because he works at his game.
Coach, we've talked about the development of John Bull over the course of this season. Now today's second double-double of the season, leading the rebounds, came back after kind of making the leg a little bit there. So just what do you see from his development now, and do you feel like he's grown up into a dog now?
Well, he's getting better. I mean, he's like all of our players, they're work in progresses. This season, I see the improvement in him, and I think he's going to be a player that, like I said, his best basketball is still ahead of him, and that's a good thing because he's playing well for us with a lot of room to grow. I want to say, again, he had a double-double tonight. His activity was good. I thought defensively he was very solid for us as well, and I'm excited for him because of his upside. And if he continues to work, there's no guy in practice that goes in and say, Coach, what do you want me to do? How can I get better? And he attacks it. He wants to improve every single day. And when you have a player that wants to improve and you have, a great staff, my staff is amazing. And, they've done a great job with these guys, and I think they'll continue to do a very good job at helping those young men develop because that's what we're about, is helping them to improve, whether it's on or off the court. And John is a perfect example of that. They're pouring into him, they're working with him on a daily basis, and he's been receptive. And that's what it takes, a player that's receptive, and you have really good coaches working with these players, they can improve, and that's what I think is happening.
Coach, yesterday when you spoke to the media, you said today's game was going to rely on 2 things, defending and rebounding. How would you say your Knights executed on that today?
I thought we executed well. I thought we defended well and we rebounded well for who they are. Like I said, they're a top 10 offensive team in the country. It's going to be hard just to stop them. You're going to try your best to contain them, and that's what we tried to do. And I thought we rebounded the ball well on both ends, and was very important for us. And our guys really did a good job of understanding, hey, that's going to be important for us to have any chance to beat a team like this. And they were able to go out there and execute that.
Coach, Texas Tech was one of the best Big 12 shooting teams, the best Big 12 three-point shooting team in the country. They shot 29 times today, but you guys held them under their season average. How important was that in the practice and the pregame warm-ups, just focusing in on stopping them shooting?
No, like I said, they're one of the best shooting teams I've had a chance to see this year, and we really wanted to do a good job at trying to slow them down from there. You're not going to completely stop them out there. They're just too good. We tried to contain them as best we could, and I thought our guys went in there with that type of mindset. I could tell by the sense of urgency they had on guarding different guys that they understood the importance of it, and they're going to make some tough shots. You can't let them making some threes demoralize you because it can. When you see they start raining in those jumpers the way they can rain them in. And I thought our guys did a good job, but like you said, still staying poised, still showing composure, even when they were making runs, even when they were hitting some threes, because they're going to do that. I've watched them long enough to know, and I've seen Grant and his teams. They do a great job of that.
Few more?
Johnny, you guys expect to win games like this all the time, otherwise you wouldn't come out and play them. 3 wins in a row now. What does this do for the momentum moving forward, because you got another big game on the horizon?
Well, we don't have much time to celebrate this game, that's for sure. I think by the end of the day, this has to be past us because you have to be willing to go into the next play in this game. Because in our conference, every single night, you're going to be competing against a great program, a great team, great coaches, and again, so we have to make sure that we reset after the day, we reset and start preparing for our next opponent, because that's all that matters in this game is who's next and getting ready to compete against them.
Kind of building off that, you guys have the big comeback win on Tuesday. Follow that up with this game where you're kind of holding the lead and kind of fending them off. What does it say about the maturity and poise of this team to be able to kind of win however the game needs you to win, or whatever the game calls for in different ways?
Well, we always say, and you've heard this saying, we have to find a way. Every team has to find a way, no matter what's going on, whether you're making shots or not making shots. No matter how the game is going, you still got to find a way to compete to give yourself a chance to win. And I think they did that again tonight. They found a way. You're talking about, Texas Tech made 7 threes in the first half, on their way to making about 14 if they duplicated that in the second half. And I thought our guys did a good job of kind of adjusting to what was going on, seeing how the game was being played, and that's what you have to be able to do. You have to find a way. Sometimes it isn't pretty. It's what do we have to do in this possession? What do we have to do in this segment of the game? And our guys were really good about adjusting to what we said do at different times. We tried different defensive schemes. I thought our guys adjusted well in those schemes, and we were able to move forward and find a way to win. And that's all you can ask from them.
Second time your fans have stormed the court, although technically third. Two-part question: did the end of the game frustrate you at all, the way that the 0.2 seconds and having to usher everybody off the court? And secondly, how much fun are you having with this team, considering that on a national perspective, this wasn't necessarily expected of your group?
Well, I'm just proud of our guys and the effort they gave in this conference. We're just trying to compete every night at the highest level. I'm just really proud because we're able to do it in front of our fans and our community. As I said before, our student section was amazing. I thought our community came out and rallied behind us. And again, it doesn't happen if they don't do that. That's what I want us to understand, the importance of not just our players, but the importance of our community, our university. It's important that we all rally behind our teams, not just my team, but all of our teams on this campus, because they all have potential to do some amazing things. But we're not going to do it by ourselves. I was a part of a great program at Duke University. You have to be kidding me to think that the Cameron Crazies doesn't help what happens in that building. And so the same thing applies here. When we can come out and support and do the things that we've done on these moments, it gives us a chance, because it's nothing like it when you're in this building. It's electric. Our building, and I've been through the Big 12, and it's amazing atmospheres. And I put our atmosphere up with all of them when we come out like we've done, and it just helps us. And like I said, I think we've had more success when you see everyone in here and everyone is participating. And I thought tonight was a perfect example. So just, kudos to our, community, kudos to our student section, because they're a big part of why we were successful tonight.
How'd you like the blue jerseys?
I love them. The blue jerseys, so I bought the blue sport coat out because of that. So no, it's, I love them. We have, Space U games, Citronaut games. All of those things are great. Like I said, our program, we have, we're a young university, but we have so many things to be proud of. And I love the fact that we are able to have multiple different logos and different things, because it makes it fun for our student body. It makes it fun for our university to be able to come out and honor NASA and honor, some of our history of our university and what we've gone through to be where we are now. So absolutely, whenever we can do something like this and change our uniforms, and I think it's just more school spirit for everyone.